The destroyer of worlds, China is denying the U.S. Defense Department report that the country is rapidly growing its nuclear arms. U.S. officials also raising concerns to the United Nations on China building missile silos and hypersonic missile tests. Joining me now, Michael Pillsbury, Hudson Institute director of the Center on Chinese Strategy and author of the book, The 100-Year Marathon. Michael, great to see you. You know, it's really interesting. We're continuing to battle this virus that we know originated in China, and while we're distracted over here with that, you know, the Chinese are going on with everything else they can to try to become #1 in the world, and it's really scary when you think about the fact that they're getting away with it just by denying these reports.
I think that's right, Jackie. They not only denied the Wuhan virus and blamed us that we created the virus in Fort Detrick, but now they're launching the same kind of deception with their missiles, claiming that these silos are for wind farms or that they don't exist at all. And in the meantime, they're attacking our level of nuclear deterrence, which is the same as the Russians, and they will not join the agreement that the Russians and America made 2 years ago. They spurned Joe Biden's invitation to come to the talks this year. So the Chinese are really setting a new height for the level of deception they practice in international politics.
Yeah, look, a year has passed since President Biden came into office, so I would say there's enough time to judge him on foreign policy. He really hasn't done anything outstanding, and when it comes to China, you know, we came from an administration that took a very tough stance, and now we're seeing China seems to be running amok.
Well, I think that's right. The Chinese themselves have begun to breathe a sigh of relief that President Biden just is not going to take any serious steps against them. The Biden administration has announced it's going to continue President Trump's trade agreement, but they've made no progress on going any further. And they've also basically borrowed or plagiarized President Trump's approach to get the Chinese to come to the arms control talks and put a cap on these missiles that they're deploying. As many as 300 new silos. That's times 10 nuclear weapons per missile per silo. You're talking about several thousand Chinese nuclear warheads. That's what the Defense Department has warned against just a few months ago, and that China is also going to adopt a policy called launch on warning. That's quite dangerous. It means when you think you see an incoming missile, you fire your ICBM back in America as a kind of launch on warning approach. So these are various trends, and I thought Joe Biden had promised to do a better job than President Trump in foreign policy. It just doesn't look that way, does it?
He promised he'd do a better job on a lot of things, and the results have yet to materialize. In the final minute we have left, the State Department has been repeatedly tweeting about this. Secretary Blinken being on Spotify and to check out his recommended playlist. I mean, it's insulting to me, Michael, as you know, somebody who lives in this country worried about so many different things right now that they think that this is top priority.
Well, it's very strange, Jackie, that the State Department official tweet 8 times now would keep referring to Secretary Blinken's playlist. I mean, I went to the playlist to read it. He likes Taylor Swift. He likes some of the same people I do. But should this be official business of the State Department to be boasting about his favorite songs while the Chinese nuclear missile program is tripling?
I like Taylor Swift, too. I just would appreciate if he would focus on China. Michael Pillsbury, thank you so much. Good to see you tonight. We'll be right back.